button. We're at Tuesday, Pop's World Order. We are going to be talking Raw. We have Cody Cornette up on top, Reek on the bottom, and next to Rico is SYN from the Syndicate, everybody. He's back. He wants to talk. We're going to let him talk. We're going to do Raw, and then we're having a huge announcement. So, guys, what do you guys think about Raw? And let's just roll through Raw a little bit and give everybody. I mean, I know we all have opinions, and let's see what's going on.
Well, I mean, what are you talking about? The 40 to 45 minute promo that happened?
Yeah.
I don't think it quite lived up to the Raw the previous week. Myself,
I agree. I didn't think it was terrible, but the previous Raw before, you're like, okay, what's going to happen next week? You're like, it wasn't terrible, but
right. And that's my fear that I've seen in many times when WWE has a pay-per-view. They go boom, 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 and then the week of the pay-per-view, it's not trash, but it's not as big as it was the week before. You know what I'm saying? And it's almost like no one gives a shit because we're at that final sprint towards the WrestleMania, and I just got that feel. I don't know.
One thing I've noticed in this last run leading up to WrestleMania this year, the crowds have been amazing. They have been hot crowds. They've loved. They've been loud.
13 consecutive television sellout.
Yeah.
13?
Impressive. Yep. Over 15,000 last week on Raw, over 15,000 this week on Raw. I mean, those some good numbers, you know?
Yeah. So the card was the appearance from Rock and Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn and Big Bronson Reed, New Day and DIY versus the Judgment Day, Ivy Nile and Maximum Dupree, Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae was basically the lineup. Good thing that was only that big of a lineup because the promo that Rock and Roman cut was 45 minutes of Rock and Roman.
Yeah.
See, that's the weird part. I have yet to watch the beginning part of Raw, and I know the full segment's up on YouTube, but I caught the tail end of it, which was Seth Rollins coming down to the audience, and that ended around 20-25 minutes.
Yeah. Well, I'm probably saying I'm exaggerating at 45.
Okay, I didn't know if you were exaggerating or if you really thought it was 45
No,
minutes.
it just seemed like it was. It felt like 45 minutes of.
Oh, yeah. I could definitely see that it felt like it.
You know, and I'm going to say this. I'm going to use a phrase from my my brother.
Oh, God.
Hogan must pose, right? Hogan must pose. Hogan must pose.
Go on.
I feel like we're getting oversaturated. I'm going to probably catch hell from you guys. Oversaturated with this Rock and Roman crap now. I'm almost done.
As long as they keep it short. If we get through this WrestleMania and something happens, and we eventually get Roman Rock, it'll be fine. As long as they don't keep rocking the bloodline for, I would say, no more than 3 months. I mean, anything longer than that, I think you run into 2 alpha males in one group. You know what I mean?
Well, you're exactly right.
The thing is that, has anybody watched the Roman biography yet?
I was
actually just watching it. I didn't finish it. I think I'm 3/4 of the way.
Okay, well, for anyone that has watched it and anybody that hasn't watched it, spoiler alert, at the end he says when he loses the title, he thinks he's done.
I brought that up yesterday because I heard somebody say something about that.
I heard about it. I heard about that line specifically. They said it on Raw, didn't they?
No.
No, I don't think so.
I didn't catch it on Raw. Did. Okay. I thought Michael Cole mentioned it when Roman was coming out in the middle of the Rock thing.
He might have.
I think he mentioned it during what you called 45 minutes, that very long. I think there was a brief, he said on the documentary last night he was done, if he loses. And I was like, it's a weird comment to make.
Yeah. It is, because it's like, if he loses, will he really be done? I think he'll be out for a little while.
Maybe. It depends. maybe he steps aside for a little while and Rock claims he's the new tribal chief and he comes back. It could happen.
Right. And obviously, I mean, obviously he's the Rock, so I've noticed, and I think this is where Roman Reigns is going to get pissed off. I noticed that Roman Reigns comes out, or when Cody Rhodes is talking about Roman Reigns, right? Everybody's booing Roman Reigns. Everybody. The minute The Rock comes out, he has more pop than the Cody Rhodes does, and it is loud as heck. And I think and so when you had those two in the ring together last night, Rock and Roman wasn't getting over. Rock was just crazy, and I think maybe Roman Reigns is going to get sick of that. That could be a turning point. You know?
Yeah, I mean, you even kind of noticed he came out. There was a buzz. He said some stuff. He got the F the Rock chant a little bit, and then when he said finally, as soon as that happened, the crowd's cheering his name again.
And there's also like Roman's not terrible. He's a lot better than what he used to be on the mic, but he's no Rock. Rock can just spit it right out.
So here's a question. We talk about Roman, we talk about Rock, we talk about Cody, Seth even being on the mic, Drew, CM Punk, and all them from this week and last week. Do you think that bigger stars should be allowed to have a little bit of leeway with what they say in promos?
Yes, 100%,
100%. Yes, they are
giving a lot of promos myself, and running a wrestling organization for about 5 years. I like bullet points. Now, given their audience, of course, you've got to. Rock doesn't care about the restrictions, obviously, but you have to have some restrictions on what they say, and you got to make that clear early on.
Right.
But other than that, and I think you just make bullet points for them. Hit this, hit this, hit this, and they got to be points that if somebody else is coming out, they can counterpoint. You know what I mean? If you Punk talked a bit about this in the interview when Hangman Adam Page went out and cut that promo on him when Hangman was champion. They had talked a little bit, but he totally discarded everything they talked about and changed what he was talking about. And Punk couldn't even hear him because the crowd was so loud. Now Punk's going out there. Punk's going to fire live rounds at him. You know what I mean? Because he's gone off the plantation.
It's kind of like last week with Seth, Drew, and Punk, where they went off script at each other.
That was great.
That was great.
Awesome.
Even a reference to Vince McMahon. Who chose you? Who chose you?
Well, apparently.
Oh, man, I love that one right there.
He did get a little bit of heat backstage for that because Vince is now a taboo word.
Yes.
It's ironic. It's ironic that Vince, of all things, is the taboo word after every taboo word that he has made in the wrestling business. He is now one of those.
I still haven't heard him call a championship a belt yet. I'm waiting for that. Because that was one of his big rules.
That was one of his big things. Yeah, he hated that so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when Cody first came back and he was cutting a promo with The Miz. And he had said belt, and Miz goes, "No, it's a championship title, not a belt. A belt is something that holds your pants up."
Yeah.
It's like, come on, man.
Something I noticed really interesting that I've noticed in the last 4 weeks of Raw is that they are building Ricochet up to something.
With New Day or Judgment Day, yeah. The big push.
So I don't know if you guys have heard about the new program that's coming out on Twitter, X, whatever the hell it's called.
Speed.
It's called WWE Speed, where matches are 3 to 5 minutes. Nobody knows what the rules are yet, I guess. They said 5 minutes before. Now it's 3. No one knows. Who cares? Apparently, they're going to hold a tournament to crown the first ever Speed champion, which I don't know if that's really a championship you want to hold in the WWE, but I digress. And it's either they're going to give him the Speed championship or, my opinion, I think he's going to get the Andre Battle Royal win.
Yep.
I think the Speed championship makes more sense for him just because it could showcase him with the ability to hit big moves and finish matches early.
Right. But the way I see say Andre is because he picked up Ivar last night and gave him a whatever, I can't remember what it's called, the thing that goes
Like the
backwards.
Samoan drop, kind of. Or
Yeah.
fireman's carry.
Yeah, he just gave him a fireman's carry backwards.
Drop.
And I'm like,
Samoa drop.
and I'm like, he just picked up Ivar like he was Hogan and Ivar was Andre. If that's not foreshadowing, I don't know what is.
That was awesome right there. When I saw that, I said, "Wow, they're showing Ricochet's strength because he is strong."
Last week, that standing shooting star press was insane, where he actually landed on a standing individual with the shooting star on JD.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wow.
Yeah, he deserves it by no means. I mean, he's put into work. He's had many spots that are great. It's about time to, and those are that's one of those guys that, come on, let's give him something. He deserves it.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, the Andre the Giant, that would be, that what he did to Ivar, that would almost indicate that, okay. But I did not, and I'll be honest, to be honest with you, I didn't hear about this thing on Twitter or X or whatever.
Yeah, it's going to start at noon tomorrow on Twitter. So I guess it gives people a reason to go check out Twitter. Like,
if you notice in the tagline, they said it was on X, but it also said it was going to be replayed on Peacock and Hulu down the line.
Oh,
so I'm wondering if it'll be on X, and then we'll probably get it on like Hulu.
I don't have X, so I don't know.
I don't use.
You
I
don't
don't
even
use
have an account to watch and follow them. You can just type their name in the search bar, and then poof, you get a WWE speed match on Wednesdays.
Okay. Hey,
I'm all for having more spotlights for guys to be in. So
another thing for content creators to go crazy about, right?
Oh yeah, right.
Hopefully, it just doesn't end up like the 24/7 title or something.
Yes. Please don't do that.
Please don't have that title change hands every week.
Okay, what's the difference between the 24/7 championship and the hardcore championship in the Attitude Era?
Nothing.
A big difference in the fact that the hardcore championship did have title defenses. And then for some reason, they thought it would be humorous when Crash Holly got it to institute this 24/7 rule, which only made sense at one WrestleMania when the title changed hands like 5 times. I remember that because Christian, as I mentioned, a big Christian fan, had won every WrestleMania's like first 3 or 4 matches. He had won in a tag team with Edge. He had beaten Chris Jericho, and then he won a title by knocking out Molly Holly to win the hardcore championship, which is totally hilarious. Just to see Christian totally proud of himself, blindsiding and knocking a woman out with a door.
Which you can't forget that at the beginning of the night, he lost to DDP in the European title match.
Yeah, but he still picked up a win.
Right. And then he made up for it with the hardcore championship and then lost it back to Maven at the end of the night. Yeah. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is great.
But for like the first 3 or 4 years, he could claim, I at least won one match at WrestleMania.
So Cobra Kai says, man, hello. How you guys? Thank you for coming to YouTube. If you're at the YouTube channel and have not subscribed, please hit that bell. Please subscribe. Let's build our YouTube channel up. So,
hello, and also hello to Gina. She said hi earlier. Oh, there it is. Hi, Sid. Hi, Gina.
And she says, I have some good news to share with you and your co-host. So awesome, man. Well, we're gonna have the good news stuff at the end of the show. So hang tight.
All right.
Anything else major on Raw that you guys want to talk about real quick?
I gotta say, just go ahead and pull the trigger with the whole Candice LeRae turning heel, turning on Indy.
What was up with that tag bout? You had heels versus heels. When did Shayna Baszler not be a heel? What
exactly? I was sitting there watching. I said, "Did I miss something? Like, what's going on here?"
Well, in that aspect, Zoe Stark, Shayna Baszler, and oh boy, hey buddy, good night, buddy. Okay, go. Go, go, go. I love you both.
Good night,
Go.
Dada.
Love you. I love you too.
Only on Huge Pop.
Yeah,
Those
only-
pops.
Only where you can find this type of lovey-dovey, friendly crap.
Where's my shirt? Where's my
I'm
shirt?
working on it. I'm really working on the logo. I'm really working on it.
Oh, that's great. I just love that he kept that going.
Friendly. No, Becky Lynch promo was with Rhea Ripley. That was solid. That was a good promo.
Now, did you guys see what you obviously we all saw what happened before on Raw at the MMA hour with Rhea Ripley?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. That was awesome watching that live.
That it was cool that they did it on that kind of format, that kind of television show.
Right.
You know what
Well,
Exactly.
I don't think it was unplanned as people say it was, but Ari, what the hell is his name? It's not
Ari,
Emmanuel.
I can't think of his last name. Well,
Anyways,
anyway,
Ari knew that something. They talked to him beforehand. There's no way that they didn't talk to him beforehand and say, "Hey, we might screw up your studio."
I have liked their brawls. And in a day and age where they don't even script men brawls very well, like I heard Cornette pick apart when The Rock attacked Cody because he said, "We get it. You know, Seth is knocked out because he got taken out during the match. But where you're in Chicago maiming somebody, no other faces came to help. No referees, no security, no police.
They made him the most hated man in the company."
Yeah, but I thought about that, and then I'm like, they've avoided that pitfall with Rhea and Becky. We've seen 3 solid fights in the last week, right? Where they're just going all out and they're pulling them apart. They're kicking guys over. You know what I mean? They're using them better than some of their male talent, which is great because I love the fact that female talent finally have a strong foothold in WWE.
Right. I see. Another podcast for that whole spiel because I have a whole opinion about women's wrestling. I love women's wrestling, but it's like we need to pull it back a little bit and make stars again instead of just relying on Becky and Rhea and Charlotte and Bailey.
Yeah,
you left one out. Relying on Jade Cargill.
Well,
okay, to be fair, Jade Cargill, the way they present her and the way they are using her, better than AEW could have ever done, and she's only wrestled for them once at the Royal Rumble.
And I'll tell you what, I was talking to these guys about it actually before you got on the chat, before we went on air, and I said Jade Cargill is much more well-rounded now. You can tell that time she's taken away, they really smoothed her out, even just seeing that Royal Rumble appearance. You know what I mean?
What does WWE have that AEW doesn't? Oh, that's right. A full performance center to utilize their talents and get them trained for TV production instead of, oh yeah, we're going to put you on a Goldberg-esque streak and then have you lose your last 2 matches out the door. Bye.
And no offense to Goldberg, it didn't work great in WCW either.
No,
not
at all.
I'm an unbeatable monster. Oh, cattle prod. What?
Oh my God, greatest fucking
Did they just cattle prod him and pin him?
Back-to-back weeks, greatest finishes ever. Cattle prod the Goldberg, and then Kevin Nash taking the finger poke of doom like he got shot by a fucking 12 gauge. Fucking great. Best finishes ever. But no, Jade Cargill is just she's being presented as a star. Bianca Belair is already a star. Naomi's already a star. So you have 3 influential female talents going to be at WrestleMania on a 6-on-6 tag match against Damage Control, who could really care less if they win or lose. This is a match to show off Jade Cargill's strength.
Absolutely.
That's all it is.
I feel like 2 of the characters, like Dakota Kai, I'm like, whatever. You know what I mean? I kind of feel
such a good heel. She just has that like bitch attitude.
I like her better on the mic than I like her in the ring.
Pardon my French, Scott, but she is such a good skank. Like, that is the best way to put it.
That name is Cody Cornette.
Yeah. Cornette.
Our opinions may not be of the same as Cody Cornette on New Talk Wrestling Podcast.
But that's the best way to put it. Like that's her attitude towards everything. That's her demeanor. She is just that mean skank that you just want to see her get her upcomings and just every single time. So that's why it's going to work.
Yeah.
My thing is, I don't know how I feel about having Becky, Rhea, and I hope this doesn't happen, open WrestleMania.
They better not.
I would hope not.
I feel like it's either going to be that match or the tag ladder match.
Yeah.
I would say the tag ladder match.
They like to start off hot. So
they're both on WrestleMania Saturday. They never said which one was going to start. No one said what's starting the show yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen that lineup.
Saturday it's Rhea Becky, Jimmy J, the ladder match, the main event, obviously, Rock, Roman, Cody, Seth. I'm trying to think of the other three because there's 7 on Saturday, 6 on Sunday.
6-woman tag.
I think that's
Sunday.
Is
right?
that Saturday?
No, Bailey's on Sunday. I thought Becky and
Bailey's on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yep. Becky and Rhea on Saturday.
Logan's on Sunday. The Pride, Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits versus the Final Testament, AOP and Karrion Kross is going to be a 6-man Philly street fight on Sunday.
Yeah.
Which I think is going to be a crock of crap.
Well, hopefully Paul Ellery will get in somebody's ears and it'll be a good match.
We can only hope. But this is a last-minute feud to a last-minute show that doesn't need to be on here. I could probably take off probably 6 of these matches that and don't need to be on and still make it a one-night event because not everybody needs to be at WrestleMania. But I digress.
See, no, the match we were talking about, like I said, you could have taken Dakota out of it and just had the tag champs.
Yeah.
Take Naomi out of the other mix.
Yeah.
And I think then you got Jade Cargill and Bianca challenging for the titles. That's a match I think I'm more interested in.
That's a better idea. And then you have Jade coming in as a debut match as a champion.
Just like they did with Carlito. When he was on Raw, I think he won the IC title, went to SmackDown, won the US title, or the opposite ways, first night in each company.
Yep. No, you're right.
We were talking about yesterday. After this WrestleMania, it should set up for like a Jade and a Bianca to actually go for the titles.
So, something we haven't talked about: Bayley. Who thinks Bayley should win the title at WrestleMania? Bayley's
going to win.
I hope so.
She better.
I think Bayley's going to lose and join her broke ass friend Mercedes Moné in AEW.
Oh, I sure hope not. I sure hope not. Because, wow, I like Bayley and Mercedes, but the AEW women's division.
I cannot stand her haircut, her hairdo.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that
reminds me of Dennis Rodman.
Oh yeah. It's nothing against Io, but I think Bayley would carry that belt better than Io does.
I agree.
Okay, can I ask something? What match are we more excited for? Bayley Io, Rhea Becky.
Rhea Becky.
Okay, so Becky should have won the Royal Rumble, right?
Oh yeah.
I liked it because I didn't expect Bayley to win. And it looked like she was going to have to use damage control to do it. And she really didn't have to. So I thought it was a nice little twist.
Right.
Have a heel win it.
That makes her the second woman to do everything in the company major in the company.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. So, I mean.
That was all she was missing, honestly, was a Royal Rumble win.
Yeah. And I mean, she's put in the work. She deserves it. She's gone through injuries, come back, and still built stuff, after being injured. She's a hell of a talent. I have a lot of respect for her.
I don't know. I feel like with the more important match, that's the person that should have won Rumble, because I feel like that was the match we all knew going in to Rumble was going to be Becky Rhea. So if Becky won, it wouldn't have been that bad of a prediction. But for Bayley to win and now have the longest overall time spent in a Rumble, I mean,
But who would have been a more believable match, Bailey or Becky Lynch against Rhea Ripley? I mean,
well, I'm saying like the winner. We were going to get these two matches regardless.
Yeah, he's
regardless
saying
of
which one
how
should
we're
have won.
doing it. These two matches are happening. I'm saying Becky should have won the Rumble, and it would have made that much more towards Rhea.
sure.
But you did bring
you
up the
needed a
point.
way to get Bayley out of Damage Control, like they did with Batista.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it worked out. It really did.
It really worked out. I mean, I don't have a problem with how they went about doing it. In the end, it worked out. I think everything went well. I think if Becky Lynch would have been in the final 2 or 3, we all would have expected Becky to win.
Mm-hmm.
But whereas you get Bayley in the last 3 or 4 people, you're like, I don't know if Bayley's going to win this. So it's a little more of a shock value.
Yeah.
That's
What were you guys'
the advantage, I guess.
What were your guys' thoughts about the segment where Drew McIntyre was at the coffin talking to that was crazy.
Drew McIntyre's been lighting the place up lately.
He really has been, man.
I hope he wins the strap
The
because I
savior
just
of
want to see this.
WrestleMania.
I want to see this version of Drew McIntyre as champion. I really do.
One of my favorite lines.
This is Brett era 97. This is what this is, and I'm all for it.
I love his line last Friday night. He's stop the CM Punk thing. Sitting squat. He goes, "Hey cameraman, quit locking up my skirt."
Yeah, don't get my skirt, you perv.
Yeah, and then that vignette, that thing last night with the coffin, and I'm like, damn,
Fucking perfect.
He's on
give the
fire.
eulogy.
Bro.
Give the eulogy. I'm like, all right.
I'm liking it a lot. I was a fan of Drew McIntyre, not on his first run in WWE so much, but I was watching Impact Wrestling back when it was on Pop when they had the Hardy Boys, Angle, Drew. Drew was current champion for a while, and I was like, man, WWE needs this Drew McIntyre, and I think we're finally seeing that Drew McIntyre.
Mm-hmm.
So you mentioned the Hardy Boys. I'm going to ask a question from that. If my brother watches this later, he'll just love.
Yeah, he will.
Will you see Matt and Jeff in that ladder match?
No, because they both should be signing up for AARP.
But Matt has said in an interview he's got a lot more time left in him. I really think if Matt's gonna keep going, I guess maybe him and I just can't see Jeff again. You know what I mean? With
that's
so many problems that he brings. Unfortunately,
didn't they
what I brought up
help
to
him out?
What was that?
Didn't they offer Jeff? They offered to help him out again, help him get clean.
I know they did before he went to Impact.
But there was nothing wrong with him. He had a clean drug test. When he left, that whole stupid live event situation with him, Sheamus, and Drew McIntyre or someone else, he left in the middle of it because he was hurting. Yeah. He wasn't on drugs. He wasn't fucked up. He wasn't on drinking or anything. He came back with a clean bill of health and no drugs in his system. And they're like, oh, sorry, you want to go in the Hall of Fame? And he's like, no, fuck you. I want to go in the Hall of Fame with my brother. Like, screw you guys. And then a week later, he shows up on TNA in the TNA. My bad. That's how bad AEW is. Fucking shows up in AEW in the worst debut ever. Because his music plays and he's like, he's going to do his entrance while his brother is about to get concussed.
Yeah.
Great. Just stand there and do your and then fucking watch your brother get a concerto, you dumbass. But it's just Jeff Hardy needs to go be examined by scientists on how the fuck he's still alive and Bray Wyatt passed away.
That's part of my point. When I'm not just talking about drug and past police actions with Jeff Hardy. with Jeff Hardy becomes a level of risk. Now, Ricochet, in my opinion, has a tremendous control, and Rey Mysterio, and they can do things and not get hurt. Jeff has shown over the years that his body now is wearing down to a point, but he's not pulling back off these moves. And WWE doesn't like it when people like Paige get hurt in the ring. When that happened, they don't like their stars going down. And Jeff's older now. He doesn't wrestle like Hogan and Flair when they were older, a style that you can continue to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Matt maybe could go a little longer than Jeff because he doesn't put his body through what Jeff does.
Nope.
I don't understand how he thinks that he has any chance in hell to fucking keep on walking. Matt Hardy needs to stay the hell away from wrestling. He's been concussed way too many times because of some Spanish god. And Jeff Hardy's one Ritalin away from having an overdose. We're pretty good on having the Hardy Boys just in the Hall of Fame and in WWE video games. They don't need to fucking physically wrestle anymore. Be a mentor, for God's sakes. Go train the kids in NXT and show them what not to do. Like, fuck.
Like, talk to Darby Allin. That's a good guy to talk to right off the bat about what not to do.
Yeah.
Darby Allin's killing himself.
Mm-hmm.
He's
I'm gonna go
a
to Mount
ball of
Everest.
charisma, but he's killing himself.
Speaking of Bray Wyatt, you guys brought it. Cody, you brought him up. Did anybody watch that documentary?
Yes.
No, I wanted to watch it tonight or tomorrow.
Oh, God, I watched it and I bawled like a bitch.
Yeah, I get you.
I like the fact that they are inducting his father and Barry Windham, his namesake, into the Hall of Fame. I thought that was pretty cool. Maybe too early for Bray, but I think putting the U.S. Express or whatever they were called at that era in there.
Yeah. And isn't Rock going to induct his mother?
Rock's going to induct his mother. Roman's going to induct Paul Heyman. I bet you Bo Dallas is probably going to induct his father and uncle. I don't see why he wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Talk about
who else would.
Talk about Darby Allin. You see that off the top ladder onto that pane of glass?
Glass. Yeah, that's kind of shit I'm talking about. That glass didn't slow down his momentum at all. He went through it and just smoked the floor.
He hit the floor. Yeah, he smoked the floor. He was like, whoa.
See, that's the kind of thing, if somebody was suggesting for me to do that, even when I was younger, I'd have second guesses. I'd be like, okay,
yeah, I don't know.
So how does that pane of glass protect me from hitting the floor? You know what I mean? It's not going to slow me down.
No. And did you guys catch? SYN, I don't want to mess it up for you, but the little Easter egg at the end of that Bray Wyatt.
Got a message, homie.
What was that? I didn't see the Bray Wyatt thing yet. I want to watch.
I was asking those two to see if they caught the Easter
I
egg
did,
at the end.
and I was very happy with what I saw, and I hope everything works out the way it should.
Me too. Agree 100%.
We'll have to watch it now. Now I'm going to watch it.
Oh, I'm going to watch it. I was going to watch it either way.
To really shift back to Darby Allin, because I can have a lot to say in a very few short words. Darby Allin is a complete jackass and needs to really go get a psych evaluation, because I don't think that drunk driving accident with his uncle really did a whole lot of help. He goes through panes of glass. He hits the hardest part of the ring on his fucking spine like a jackass. He doesn't get himself paralyzed because some miracle of God. He is the only reason that I believe God exists, because that is the only way he is surviving. And he goes through a pane of fucking glass, gets stitched up on the floor, goes in for the save for one last shot on his tag team match with Sting, which shouldn't have been a fucking singles match, and the fucking Young Bucks should have never been a part of it because they're fucking jackasses. And then the next week, the dumb fuck breaks his ankle on a simple move and then can't go to Mount Everest because he's a fucking dipshit.
That's how you really feel.
No. I don't blame the breaking of the ankle on a stupid move. I broke my ankle taking a hip toss once.
But he went through a pane of glass off of 20 feet in a ladder, and he survives that and gets stitched up on the floor live television, but can't do a simple fucking move right and breaks his goddamn ankle like a fucking rookie.
you'll notice, like I said, these are the kind of people that Jeff, Matt, they need to take these people aside and say, hey, man, there's going to be repercussions from all this. Darby, and as Tony Khan, if I'm paying a wrestler and he does all this crazy stuff like climbing mountains, jumping bikes, doing all this stuff, I'm not happy because that's money that I could be losing because this guy's being stupid in his free time.
Exactly. That's one of your top stars risking his life.
So we watched the CM Punk interview.
Yeah.
We've watched snippets of it. I think all of us have, at least at this point. From that interview, Tony Khan don't give a shit that he's pissing away daddy's money like he's on electrolyte fucking diet and just going to town on water. He doesn't give a shit.
Well, he's like he said, it almost seems like Cornette says, or Punk kind of alluded to, he's not a leader. Obviously,
no,
you know that.
He's not a boss. He was never a boss. He was the Young Bucks, Omegas, and Jericho's friend. Cody actually wanted to make a business. Cody Rhodes wanted to make a business. And that's why he fucking left, because Tony Khan said, oh, no, it's all good, man. We're just going to keep on going at the party of life.
I personally think what Khan needs is just a good right-hand man to guide him through it that's experienced, maybe a former WWE guy that worked him back, somewhere on a high level, somebody to help him with booking, like WWE has, Triple H or Shawn Michaels booking different things. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a problem with that. There's a problem with that. Exactly. Bret Hart offered his services as a backstage producer, and Tony Khan shot him the fuck down.
See, and that's what makes it fucked up, because Tony, I think, really had good intentions going in, having a second company, more places for people to work, but he runs it. Here's the problem. I'm an indie worker. He runs it like an indie promotion and not like a multinational promotion. And that's why he has some big fans, but I don't think he's going to hit the mass audience if he does that.
Nope,
the thing is that AEW, and this is what I've been touting for the last 3 years, AEW is the biggest indie promotion with national television exposure on the fucking planet.
Yep.
TNA is a bigger wrestling promotion than AEW ever will be.
As far as quality of stuff they put out through the years, I would agree with that.
Yes.
It is through as just not even presentation, just the way they carry themselves on television. Not even like the wrestling aspect, just like, oh, we all know we have a boss. AEW is like, it's a fucking free-for-all carnival that everybody just goes, we're going to piss away all the money. Woohoo! Fucking champagne and Ferraris for everyone. Fuck it.
Yeah, kind of like WCW, just, hey, everybody just do what you want to do.
But that's the thing. People think that there was a boss. It was Eric Bischoff. He did Steinbrenner a lot of shit.
He made some mistakes.
He made huge mistakes that he's owned up to now.
Yeah.
But if Tony Khan would be a Ted Turner and just sit back and watch the money roll in and let somebody have a business mind to do everything. This is the problem. Tony Khan doesn't know how to shut his goddamn mouth. He does it in interviews. He doesn't know how to just shut the fuck up, do PR the right way, and just do business. No, let's bring up Ted Turner. Let's bring up WCW and everything that they've done wrong. Ted Turner was never a booker, you cokehead. One. Yeah. Two, WCW went out of business because of the AOL Time Warner merger. That is the sole reason. If it wasn't for that, it still would have a home on TBS, and Ted Turner would still be on top of the fucking television world at the moment. That merger sucked for everyone involved.
John Pike says one name would fix AEW. Can you guess it? No, tell me who.
Yes.
No one.
I sure hope it's not John Pike.
Yeah. Who is it, Johnny?
You could bring in John fucking Cena into AEW, and they will find a way.
They'll ruin him. They'll find a way to ruin him. Look at Edge. Edge,
Hey,
Edge had a
John.
great run and then fell apart.
Right. Hey, John Cena, we're going to give you $10 million a year. Oh, sorry, broke my arm. I'm out.
And now with everything going on with Jack Perry, do you think they're maybe regretting releasing CM Punk? Maybe just a little.
Punk wanted to leave.
I know he did. I watched the interview. Punk didn't want to be there.
He literally made Collision for Punk because he
Yes.
knew Punk was his biggest fucking draw and could not lose him.
But I don't want to get off on a tangent. I really want these guys to watch it, and I would like
All
to
right.
talk about it on a show sometime.
All right,
I
we can
think
do that.
there's a
We
lot
are
to
getting
cover.
to the part where we need to switch from Raw and all the other talk to our special announcement. But I wanted, before we go to SYN, my niece from Indiana, she's going to a arts college in Ohio, I think it's Ohio. I'm going to meet Sting in June, so I sent her a picture of what I thought I'd like to have her. What I thought his. So John Pike says this, not a wrestler anymore, Scott D'Amore.
No.
And
Won't even fix it.
Oh boy, I don't know.
Cody immediately, no.
No.
so I had her. I gave her 3 photos of Sting that I wanted her to try to emulate.
Yeah.
Et cetera. And this is what she came up with, guys. And I just, keep it. I mean, she's 17, so I don't understand that.
That's really good.
Nice. We got
That was
Crow
really
Sting. We got original Surfer Sting and Wolfpack Sting. That's cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's solid.
That is
very
solid.
good drawing.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that, and I'm
Very
gonna.
good.
Yeah, so I think that's great. But
It's missing Joker Sting. I see
Honestly,
jokingly.
would rather have Joker Sting than Wolfpack Sting. That's my opinion.
yeah, I wasn't a fan of Wolfpack anything, but so SYN.
Yes.
I can remember 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half ago, I'm reaching out to a bunch of indie guys up in the Illinois area, Iowa area, wherever up in that area. And I came across what I can't remember, PWX.
Yeah.
And I went through them and I talked to the guy in charge and got some names. I got Johnny Cass. I got SYN from the Syndicate. I had you on the show, and from day one, it was a friendship that was built. You have great history, and you have an announcement. So if we can, I don't know where we want to start. I am grateful that I had the opportunity to have you on the show and become friends with you. I want to talk about one certain guy that was in the chat. I love the angle. I love the Syndicate bringing John Pike or Johnny Cass into the Syndicate because he always had a problem of losing. But before we let you say something, no, go ahead. You can talk.
Okay. I'm going to pull the Band-Aid off really quick here and make the initial announcement. Today, I'm officially announcing my in-ring retirement from wrestling. I've been doing it for over 25 years, 26 years now. I've had some opportunities to travel on some other companies. It was nothing against those companies for me not doing it. I just feel like my body has reached its limit. I get up in the morning or get home from work. The ankle that I busted hurts. I'm dizzy from too many concussions. My knee hurts. There's things that need to be addressed, and I just need to step away. It was a long conversation with my wife, who has been very supportive through all of this. We've been together over 20 years of that career. She's also has wrestled before, but primarily she's worked as a color commentator and a ring announcer. And that's Melissa Gonzalez-Storm. Love her to death. I'm just happy she's been through this crazy ride with me. Also, I want to thank some of the companies that I worked for. I mean, Powerhouse Wrestling Extreme was later in my career, but way before it was called that. It was called Powerhouse Championship Wrestling, when there was only 5 people in the whole state of Illinois that could run. And back then, I got trained by Tim Lyle and Brian Lyle. Glenn Jacobs was a part of that company. He only, I think, was on a couple shows as champion. But I learned so much from them. Some of the people I got to meet and learn from has been amazing. Honky Tonk Man and I didn't start off on the best foot, but after 5 or 6 shows together, we became pretty fast friends. That was pretty cool. Out of big names that I've worked with, like Hall of Famers, I've worked with quite a few, but I want to give a special shout out to Ace Cowboy Bob Orton. I've wrestled with him as a tag team. I've wrestled against him in a tag team. I've wrestled him for titles and singles. You couldn't meet a more nicer man in this business. He understands the business. He's just a great person. For the last year and a half, I've been on this show a lot. So big thank you to Huge Pop. Thank you so much, Scott. I totally appreciate that. And my latest run, I got to say thanks to guys like Johnny Cass, Axel, Joey Grunge, just some of the guys I got to work with, Napier, fantastic guy. I got to work with so many good people. I got to help train AMB, who is taking off right now. Just been Nasty Nick Nolan was a part of the syndicate. Awesome guy who I've got to meet over the last year or so. Back from the days when I owned my own company, Wicked Wrestling Alliance. Big thanks to so many of that roster. Thanks to everybody who's been on the roster there. I've lost close friends while they were on the roster, like Steve Zokes, an amazing man. JT Simmons, I knew him in 2005. Angus McDuff. I can't say enough good things about Angus McDuff. We had wrestled everywhere over the last 20 years, and never had he beat me in a singles match until December, or was it December, I believe, or November of last year. My last match, I think it was December. My last match, I got beat by Angus McDuff. So comes full circle, and was happy to lose to him, actually. And he was the current champion in the company at the time. And there's so many people to thank. I can't even begin to thank them all. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask. I mean,
I'm gonna give some comments, couple comments, and SYN, this person so well. She probably the greatest fan of PWX, greatest fan of yours.
The fans, yeah. Gina.
You will always have my support. Got John Pike, Johnny Cass. I will always remember you, brother. I know we only did a short stint with each other, but I learned a lot from you. I'm grateful for your friendship. You love your brother.
Love you too, brother.
SYN, you named a couple.
What's going on now?
You named a couple people that I know that are really close to your heart and your career. And I reached out to these people. I'm just going to play a few things, okay?
Oh God!
I said I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to show emotions.
Yeah, so, this isn't crying. I got something in my eye.
We're going to start with this young man.
Hey, SYN, Johnny here. Just wanted to say congrats on the retirement from wrestling. I know you've done a lot throughout your career. It's something to be proud of. And I want to thank you for forcing me to be a part of the syndicate. You guys actually allowed me to experience what being a heel was like for the first time. And I had a lot of fun, as you know. And I will try my best to carry on just a little bit of the syndicate. So with that being said, congratulations on a nice wrestling career, and I hope to see you down the road. Till then, take care.
I hope to see him too.
So we got a comment. Andrew Yallen, hello. Thank you, Andrew, for accepting another thing. I don't know if he's a friend of yours, SYN, but Andrew, if you love wrestling, hit the subscribe button. This Tuesday's show is going to go off the chart. You're going to see us 4 on the thing every Tuesday going forward. I hope. It's great conversation. Plan. It's great conversation. That's the plan, man. And so we also talked about so Syndicate. Okay, I love that. I love that podcast. I remember this. John Pike was going nowhere fast, but losing. And SYN thought, hey, let's bring him in and show him how to win. And I think the lesson you taught Johnny Cass was you got to do something no matter what it takes to win a match. And I think finally, after getting his ass beat many times by several people, you guys finally got into his head and said, this is what you got to do. So that, you must be a great trainer. So that's that. I have another guy. You mentioned this guy too. This guy is skyrocketing in these. He is AMB, and here.
How's it going? AMB here. First and foremost, I would just like to congratulate SYN on his retirement. In the short time I've been able to know you inside the ring and outside, you've been very helpful to young guys like myself. You've actually helped train me a little bit when I first got started, so thank you for that. And as far as in the ring, you know, I've had my ups and downs with the Syndicate, your group. Had plenty of matches with you guys. But thank you. You know, I appreciate everything that you've done for myself, and I'm pretty sure you've helped out a lot of other people along the way. So congratulations on your retirement, son.
Now that kid, you want to talk about Darby Allin, Jeff Hardy. The last match I seen him, he climbed to the top of this theater, got on the balcony, and did a swanton on top of, I think, Wildcat.
Yeah, it was Mercer,
and broke Mercer's leg.
Yeah, I think it was an ankle and another fracture. I think there was two injuries.
That kid is an up and coming guy, man. He's to watch some of the stuff he's doing. I mean, again, he played homage to you.
I think I've worked and trained with a lot of guys. A&B, this is just my experience from people I've worked with. I think A&B, as long as he stays healthy, I don't think there's a ceiling for him. You know what I mean? I think he could do wonderful things. I'm just happy I could say, hey, maybe 10 years from now, I'm seeing him on TV. I'll be like, I was a part of that. So, I'm really happy. I didn't expect this. For anybody at home, I didn't know he recorded anybody or anything like that. So I'm totally caught off guard by that. But yeah,
I got one more.
Wish the best for him.
I got one more.
All right.
About your greatest fan. I know it's your wife's greatest fan.
Okay.
She's had some run-ins with this guy, and it was a topic of a conversation on the podcast that we had once. And it is a competitor that AMB is going to take on in April 27th at MCW.
Okay.
It'll be him.
I think I know who this is.
It'll be him. It'll be AMB. It'll be Koa. I almost said KOA. It's
Koa.
Don't do it.
And this guy. And this one, man, this means a lot. I think this is pretty cool. Coming from him. Here you go.
SYN, it's Nick. I hear you have a big announcement tonight. I'm genuinely curious as to what it could possibly be, and I'm going to check it out. But I just wanted to hop on real quick and let you know I appreciate you, man. For those who don't know, SYN and I go way back to the beginning of my career at PWX. He was there for my first match, and I'm pretty sure he was there for my tryout match to get my foot in the door over there. But, say what you want about that company. It did have its pros, and one of those pros is definitely you. Thank you for being a great locker room leader. Thank you for being a genuine person. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to join the syndicate and give me a platform when I otherwise wouldn't have had one, and allowing me to work with you guys. You know, that's something I'm not going to forget. And I'm very grateful for you. I'm very grateful for Mel. And you guys are very real, down-to-earth people who've had my back since day one. And that doesn't go unnoticed. Man, I just wish you the absolute best, not just in wrestling. I wish you the absolute best in life. You deserve that, man. You're such a good person. And I just wanted to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for giving me opportunities when no one else would. And I really hope I can see you again sometime. So if you ever want to hop down to a show that I'm on, you're more than welcome to be my guest. We'll catch up, hang out, do all that good stuff, talk wrestling like we do, you know. And I just want to end this by saying, one, thank you. And two, I genuinely appreciate the person that you are. I'll catch up with you soon, brother.
I to him too. I think we'll see each other again. I don't live that far from where Defiant runs shows. I know AMB is there, and I think Nick is there too. So you know, AMB. I don't know if Cass is there, but you know, hopefully I see them all again. Just showing up and genuinely being a heckling fan.
Anybody have anything for us? And I could go all night.
That's because you know more about me than they do.
I will say this, and you know, when I started looking at interviewing indie guys or wrestling talent of all kinds, you know, and I'm like, you know, you get the stars, and we've had some great ones, you know, and we've had some great indie guys. You're no except. You're one of the great guys that I've met.
Thank you.
You know, and when you asked me if we could do this on the show, it's one of those honors that, you know, you never think you would get, and it came at the right time. I'll be honest, it came at the right time. So I want to say thank you. Thank you for coming on the show a year and a half ago. Thank you for, hey, let's do a show again. Let's do another one. Let's talk about, you know, all that stuff that you did for this podcast. You will always and forever be the HPWP family. I am honored. I'm glad that you mentioned you want to join the Tuesday show. That's amazing to me. I mean, you are a brilliant person when it comes to wrestling, and I mean, you're just an amazing guy, man. I'm glad I got an opportunity to meet you. And when you told me you're done in wrestling, I'm like,
in ring.
I'm like, dang it.
Right.
I'm like, dang it, man. I don't want to lose contact with you. So I'm happy that we're going to do this Tuesday show. I mean, I could go on. You know, you're amazing. Thank you for being part of the Huge Spot family. And I love you, man.
You know, I totally appreciate that. I want to stay a part of this family. There is a person that I did forget to give a shout out to that's super instrumental to me, and that is an individual probably none of you know, but he knows a lot of people in the business, and his name's Kurt Razzo. Kurt Razzo did booking for a company called RCW, which the current owner now runs Dreamwave. They have pay-per-views and things of that nature. He went from there and he came to work with me at Wicked. And I've known Kurt for many years. And Razzo is a genius story writer to the point he probably did 90% of the booking of my company the last 3 years I owned it. The guy's mind for the business is insane. So I wanted to not forget him.
That's Razzo from RCW?
Well, he was in RCW, and then he worked with me in Wicked Wrestling Alliance.
Does he do anything now, or?
No, actually, he settled down. He got out of the booking business because he's got a couple kids now, and he wants to focus on family.
There you go.
I got an hour. We're at an hour mark. I'm gonna. Gina said, "Can I please share now?" I'm waiting for her. I'm gonna.
Okay.
I probably can wait 2 minutes. And I got to get off here. But anybody have anything you want to say to our guest, SYN, before we head on out of here?
Well, man, I'm excited about it. Tuesdays going forward, man, that you're going to be joining. I can't wait.
Man, Scott's just pulling in all the talent. He pulled in me last week. Now he's pulling in SYN. Now it's going to be a fatal four of just plethora of opinions.
There you go.
Well, that's the best thing. You know, always like the difference of opinions going on.
I can say that. I can honestly say, Cody, I tell you this all the time. I am a guy that loves wrestling, but my brain is not. I don't have a very good memory. I don't. You got the three that I'm in the presence. I'm serious. I'm in the presence of three guys that know what they're talking about and have great opinions. And I mean that, guys. I tell Rico this all the time. Man, because there's time I'm so busy with what I do as my career that I don't have a chance to watch the SmackDown, all of it, or the Raw, all of it, or whatever. And I do look it up, and I can carry conversations, and I do have probably an opposite opinion of every single one of the obvious. That's fair. That's fair. But I surround myself, including my brother. I wish he could come on at night, but
you and me both. That'd be fun.
Right. I honestly think that I'm surrounded by an amazing Huge Pop Wrestling family, and I love you all. And I'm Huge Pop. Now we got a fatal four-way, as Cody said. This show's going to go skyrocket. It's just going to be, I mean, we're going to, we'll promote it, and it's going to be good. And I am honored. And again, before I go, I'm honored to share the screen with all three of you guys. And man, I'm thankful. And that was something I wanted to do. I wanted to make friends because I need my self-care is to step away from everything for an hour and a half to get away from reality. Mm-hmm. And spending it with you guys is amazing. Gina has one announcement.
All right, let's hear it, Gina.
God, I hope you guys be nice. All right, you guys be nice.
No, I think I know what it is, so I'm excited.
Okay, boom. I'm starting my own wrestling promotion.
Yes, she mentioned it to me earlier today.
I'm bringing back wrestling to Illinois Valley. Gina, hit me up in the comments. Hit me up on Facebook. Let's talk about it. All right. SYN.
You need the syndicate in your company. You know, I can still manage. Bring all the syndicate in. Let them take all the hard hits. You know, me.
The promoter never leaves.
I'll do that Paul Heyman in the background.
There you go.
Give me the stick. Let me trip a couple guys. I'll be fine.
All right. So SYN, there you go. Gina, there you go. SYN wants to be a manager. Hell. Huge Pop will promote your business, your wrestling promotion. Let's go.
There you go. Anybody who needs a manager, send me your video.
All right.
There you
go. Cody, thank you for coming on this evening. Rick, thanks as always for being on the show, man. Thanks for being my brother-in-law from
another mother.
Brother from another mother.
There you go.
SYN, man. My heart goes out to you, man.
Heart goes out to all you guys too.
You guys are amazing people. Huge Pop Wrestling fans, it's been a great night. There's a lot more to come. We're gearing up for WrestleMania. Expect more interviews, etc., coming on. Expect a Tuesday show. It's going to be great. But for now, Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast is out. Hey, guys, don't go nowhere, though.
All my dogs, make some noise up in this house! Who is in the house? Who is in the house? It's the gangster of destruction, so you know what's going down. And when the drive-by's coming, then you better hit the grind. Cause when your body hits the canvas, then your head is knocked out. Who is in the house? Who is in the house? It's the gangster of destruction, so you know what's going down. And when the drive-by's coming, then you better hit the grind. Cause when your body hits the canvas, then your ass is knocked out.
Fight with Adrian Whisper is like a fight with the devil, because when he's dealing with you, you cannot get on this level.
Fight with Adrian Whispers, like a fight with a king. It's like a fight with an army, they got the tanks and everything.
He's leaving bruises and stitches, possibly leaving you crippled, cause when he sets up the table and sends you straight through the middle.
Six sadistic free, beat that ass with a light bulb. Leave a piece of glass embedded in the back of your skull.
Who is in the house? Who is in the house?
It's the gangster of destruction, so you know what's going down. And when the drive-by's coming, then you better hit the ground. Cause when your body hits the canvas, then your ass is knocked out.
Who is in the house?
Who is in the house? It's the gangster of destruction, so you know what's going down. And when the drive-by's coming, then you better hit the ground. Cause when your body hits the canvas, then your ass is knocked out.